Hi, guys.
Everyone. It's Mikey.
And it's Dom.
Welcome to our first episode. Woo! Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
A little.
Why are you nervous?
Do you? Okay, so for clarification, some of this stuff I've told Mikey before, but the idea of doing something crazy different, like I've never started a podcast. I have an Instagram.
Yeah.
That's the extent of my social media presence.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's so cool though. Like now you get to experience this.
I do.
I feel like I had a YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
So
but you should tell them about it too.
I used to have a YouTube channel way back when with my sisters. I think that just gave me like a little taste of like what social media and like having a social media presence would be like, and like being on camera, being I don't know, like on a mic and like the lights and the camera.
Yeah. Taste of fame.
Kind of loved it.
Oh.
I wanted more.
Mikey's a celebrity actually.
Albuquerque celebrity, so that doesn't really mean anything.
It does.
Does it?
Does.
Not even a celebrity though.
We're known for so much here. We're known for Breaking Bad. We're known for
Oh.
Central.
I hate being known for Breaking Bad.
It's
Is that a
kinda
bad
crazy.
thing?
No, it makes sense.
When I was in Santa Fe over the summer, they're like, or no, not Santa Fe, and then like whenever I travel for like photography, and I'm like, I'm from New Mexico, and then the first thing they're like, Breaking Bad. And I'm like,
yes.
Oh God.
No.
Oh, that's the worst.
It gets followed up with some weird questions. Does that actually happen there?
I know. I feel like people think that all of us are on drugs.
I mean, nobody has to know that.
I'm like, oh wow.
Oh.
No, but yeah, we are so excited to
Yes.
finally start this. This was like,
This has been months in the making.
this has been in the making, dude.
It doesn't even feel real that we're recording this like right now. Like, does that make sense?
It's low-key like a dream, but like a
Right?
good dream.
Yeah.
Usually I would say like a fever dream, but like I feel so present and like so like grounded right now. Like this is
Yeah.
literally, I'm just so excited.
Yeah. No, I love that.
I'm so
This
excited.
is crazy.
I know. But yeah, we really wanted to just have this platform as of like, I don't know. I love the idea of like bringing in like people and like building a community
Yeah.
off of like being like of other creatives and like
Mhm.
how I guess vulnerability affects that, which is kind of
Yeah.
like our theme of this whole show, is how vulnerability affects like our day-to-day lives, and not just being a creative and like in our relationships and like being a
Yeah.
human, but like really I don't know, like
Existing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to me, I'm just such a deep thinker about everything. So I'm always asking, I don't know, always like, I feel like there's a deeper meaning to everything. And that's
Yeah.
just the way I think. I'm like a critical thinker like that. But that also like leads into being like a creative.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I feel like this is just like a perfect platform to like bring in those people that I look up to or that you look up to, and then also bring
Yeah.
in like our friends to just like chit chat and like kiki.
It's also a little flex to be like, we have a podcast, you know?
Low key.
Yeah.
I love telling people that. It's like a cool thing to say.
is
Like I
cool.
was saying today when she asked like, oh, what else do you have to do today? Like, what are you up to? I'm just filming a podcast for my filming an episode for my podcast, you know.
Yeah.
But
And for those of you listening and watching, Mikey and I are both creatives. So Mikey is a photographer. Again, he is an Albuquerque celebrity here.
no, I'm not.
Yes, he is.
What does that even mean?
It means you're royalty in the photography department here.
I guess.
But yeah, Mikey is a photographer. He's a really good one.
Thank you.
For the edit, we're gonna put Mikey's Instagram here to go follow him if you want to go see his work. Hire him.
For the listeners that aren't on like watching this visually and just listening to this like wherever you're at in your car
Yeah.
or in your headphones,
Mm.
make sure you follow us on all of our social media and our
Yeah.
YouTube channel, because we will be posting all the visuals from this episode onto those accounts. So
Yeah.
subscribe, follow.
We'll have links to everything.
Yeah, everything will be linked.
Oh, this is crazy. Oh, okay. Mikey,
I'm a celebrity.
You are a
That's where
celebrity.
you're at.
You are a celebrity. Mikey's a photographer. I am. I guess you can kind of say designer now.
No, you're a designer. You're like
Yeah?
a full-on like clothing designer, creative.
Not crazy big. It's kind of in the works.
But
Starting.
you don't have to be like big
You don't,
to be like a creative or a designer.
You're right. You're so validating, Mikey.
Yeah, you
I
don't have to be.
appreciate you. It's in the works. But,
How long have you been doing that?
Sewing?
Yeah, like when did you first start?
Maybe like a year and a half ago, almost
Oh, wait,
2.
so it's kind of like
it's been
recent.
a while, but it's not like been too long. Yeah.
That's cool though.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of like making something from like scratch, especially when it comes to like fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I love that idea and I could never do it. I feel like I told you about my like DIY project that I wanted to do one time when I wanted to like take sleeves from this one shirt and put it onto like another shirt so it's like a layered.
Oh,
So
I
long
see.
sleeve from a long sleeve shirt. I wanted to layer it with like a short sleeve shirt.
Uh-huh.
Didn't know how to sew. I got like a little sewing thing. I never did it because I was like too complicated.
Really?
But I love that you're able to do that, and I love that I know people that are able to do that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I can sew that shirt for you.
I threw it away.
I can't guarantee it'll come out good, but
I threw it away. Are you the type? I'm like such the type to like find like a creative thing or like a creative, not even a creative, like more of a hobby.
yeah.
Like I'll find a hobby and then I'll like buy all the things
Yep.
for it. I'll
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just give you an example. Like I got into knitting for like a little bit.
No.
Yes, I got into knitting. I literally got into knitting. I bought an entire like 2 bundles of yarn.
No, you're joking.
I still want to make it. I still have it. I wanted to make an oversized knitted scarf.
Yeah. If you ever need help getting into that, Thea knows how to do that.
I never finished it.
That's okay.
But then like I was on to the next. Now I'm like a big bookworm.
Yeah.
And I'm reading like 5 books right now.
I saw one of the books you're reading. Good luck.
Oh my god. Yeah, should we talk that's the next episode.
We'll have to run
We'll
back
get into
on
book
that.
talk. We'll like talk about some books.
Yeah. But Mikey, like what is your biggest goal with starting a podcast?
Ooh, that's a really good question, honestly. I feel like there's so many I just see so many things like coming out of this podcast, not just with myself or
Mhm.
like with us. Like obviously I do love being creative, and I
Yeah.
feel like this is another creative outlet. And I
Mhm.
feel like one of the goals that I see for this is just really having a platform
To build off of.
not
Mhm.
just for myself though. Like I love the idea, like today, that in that interview she was asking me like, it was kind of like a why question of like, well, like why do you like to shop local, or like why do you like to like support small businesses? And I was like, that honestly leads into like why I'm a creative, and it's honestly because, or like why I'm a photographer too, is because I love to build community and like connect.
Yeah.
And like that's like my biggest goal, and I feel like this is such a perfect platform to do it.
It's perfect.
Like I just love the idea, especially like with photography too. Like over the summer at that internship, it was very much of like, one of the courses was like, what's your why as a photographer? And I never really asked myself that question before.
Oh.
Like I would always tell people I just love to take pictures, but like I never really
Thought too deeply into it.
yeah.
Ah.
Because it was always just something that came kind of natural to me, and I just loved it so much, and I never really thought about why I loved it.
Uh-huh.
It was more of just like, I just love taking like I would always tell people I just love taking pictures. It sounds so cheesy, or like so like
No.
what's the word, like
I know what you're thinking. I know which one
not
you're
cheesy,
looking for.
like not corny, but like
not basic.
in that same vein of like, I just love taking pictures, but like that's not a real answer. I don't know, like it's a real answer, but like it's not really like anything too like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's okay. I know what you mean.
for like my biggest goal or as a photographer was,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of really thought about it and sat with it. It was really to build community. And like
Yeah.
I just love connecting with like my clients or like people that I photograph, and that's like my
Yeah.
biggest thing. Like this past shoot
He's good at what he does.
over the weekend, oh my god, it was so fun, and like I just loved being able to connect with them. I've never met them before, and I finally
Yeah.
met them in person. It was like their first time meeting, and like being able to like make them comfortable and like pick their brain. They were giving me dating advice.
Cute.
And like it was just so cute to be able to connect with them and like connect with people from like all the things, not just being a photographer, but now having this platform,
Yeah.
bringing them on and like really being able to sit down and not just have like a little bit to talk to them, but like a full like sit down thing and like really pick their brain. So my biggest goal is to really build that community and like having this platform be that for them, and also having fun with you, girl.
No, yes. That is.
And having fun with you and like chatting with you and like connecting with you more and like
Yeah.
talking with you and like all of our crazy experiences, or like you being from literally Ecuador, right?
Well, my dad, but yes, I have family
Like
out there.
that's so interesting to me, and like I just can't wait for like me to like learn more about that and like them to learn more about that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What about you? What's your biggest goal?
My goal.
It doesn't even have to be big.
I feel like it is pretty big. I've kind of thought about this.
Love that.
So as I was saying like earlier, and Mikey knows this, like I don't really do too much to put myself out there. Like I'm somebody who, if you're like, oh, go talk to them, like I'll go up and I'll introduce myself. Like I've gotten pretty good at doing that.
You're a baddie.
Thank you.
You're a
Thank
baddie.
you. But yeah, it's just hard doing something and betting on yourself. But I
can relate to that though.
yeah.
I think there's I think before we hit record on this, I think we both were like,
You're like, ooh.
this is up here
different.
forever.
Yeah, it is. It literally is.
I think that like idea of also like being seen and kind of like that's a vulnerability on its own too, of like
Yeah.
wanting to be seen, and like
exactly.
now having this as like another thing for people to look at, and like
yeah.
it's a whole how vulnerability just like affects all that.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are being vulnerable.
No,
Yes.
literally, the premise of our podcast is what is starting us
Literally.
off. It's wonderful. But
Yeah. Your why
my why.
or your biggest goal.
Okay, so basically everybody in my life knows this about me, but I'm a psychology major. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do in the future, but I've always known that I've needed some type of career working with people, because I love talking to people. Like I've always loved it. Mikey, you know, like
You do.
we have.
Oh yeah, you do. She's a talker.
I'm a talker. Like I'm a certified talker. I just love talking with people. Like how you like building that community. I love having connection with people, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things, because you can still have a connection with somebody and not even speak the same language, and it could be through music. It could be through your clothing style, and that connection is so fundamental to what makes us human, and I think it's so beautiful to share that with somebody. I love it. But yeah, I've always loved talking with people, and one of the ways I've found that is like the easiest to connect is having that space to be vulnerable. Yeah. Some people know this about me, some don't. I've been volunteering for a crisis line for 2 years. Love it. Please, I will link them. If you ever need somebody to talk to, guys, please always reach out. You're never alone. But one of the things I found with that is that sometimes we just need a space to exist, and that's okay. And that's one of the things I really want to do with this podcast. Have you ever seen that interview with the girl from You, Love Quinn?
Oh my god, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, but did you ever watch it?
She's like sitting on a chair. Like
Yes.
I like think I've seen clips of it. I haven't watched the full thing.
That's okay. Do you want me to talk about it? Do you want me to spoil it for you?
You can spoil
Are
it.
you okay with that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'll watch it after this too.
Okay. There's an interview where she is, I guess, like she's taking off like an article of clothing every time she says something more like personal and vulnerable for her. And there's something that she says. She says, you know, I feel prettiest when I'm dancing, and how like she's having that raw emotion.
Yeah.
I think that's like such a beautiful thing, because I'm like, oh my God, like I have had moments like this. I think that's beautiful.
Mm.
And oh my gosh, Mikey, I hate to say this. I hate to be like, oh my gosh. There is
What?
something that has like motivated since I've seen it. Oh gosh, I saw this on TikTok. Maybe this was Instagram. I just remember being really young watching this.
Love it.
There's a little interview where somebody's going up to a kid and they go, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he goes, a doctor.
Pregnant.
No.
Have you seen that meme?
No, I
Oh my god, I have to send it to you.
Please.
It was like a class. I hate to like break up that like.
No, you're good.
No, it was like a class like kindergarten thing. I think they're graduating from kindergarten to like.
Oh, shut up!
Like,
no, she's doing the graduation speech. I've seen
like,
that.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Pregnant. And the parents are like, oh no! Everybody was like clapping, like, wait.
Yes.
Should we clap? But yeah. What do you want to be? The question was, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, so
that was the video?
In the video, they're interviewing this little kid. and they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he goes, a doctor. Oh, really? How much money do you want to make? I want to make people feel good.
Cute.
And tears on sight, Mikey.
That's cute.
And that's what I want to do with this podcast. I want something where people can feel connected to.
Yeah.
And I want somebody to be listening or be watching and say that this is normal to feel these things.
Yeah, no, I love that, and I relate to that so much. Getting tongue-tied over here.
Yeah,
relate to that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I relate to that so much. I mean, like, I feel like there is such a space. There's like needs to be a space for people in like our city and like our community and our circle, for them to like open up and like be vulnerable and like talk about things that, because I think there's always like a stigma about like being vulnerable, at least for like me, and like being Hispanic and like also being a guy, not being able to like, I don't know, there's like that stigma kind of growing up of like,
and not being able to
you're a girl if you cry,
like, wuss,
yeah, like all that stuff. So it's like, I love like now that I'm older and like I can look back and be like, no, that's like wasn't okay, or like I'm allowed to feel these things, and like
you are.
So like having that space now to talk about it and like talk about all the things that I've experienced, but then being able to relate to that with you and then with people that we bring on is really, really exciting.
Very.
So exciting. All right, so that kind of like leads us into like our part 2 of
of episode 1.
Yeah, of episode 1. We are going to be talking about, not really talk about,
kind of just more introductions,
asking questions. in our next episode, part 2. This episode was just a little taste of like of
what we are, what we're serving,
what we're doing, what we're giving, so episode 2 is really going to be more about asking questions. I think we both have some questions pulled up. Just really diving deep and getting more into depth about like all the things going on and all the things that we want to talk about personally and like with the podcast too. So first episode is really, really fun. This isn't going to be our usual format.
No.
Since this is going to be kind of like a full episode, we are just splitting it up into 2 parts for this month. And then, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to ask more questions.
Very excited.
Because that question was really good.
That was good.
That was a good one.
Big brain. And we're going to go ahead, take a break, and we'll be back in a little bit. Thanks, guys.
Hey, episode 1, girl.
Episode 1, Mikey.
Is that it? No, not yet.
We'll
part 2.
Yeah, we
part
need
2.
to
We're still figuring these out.
We are.
Okay.